After I'm done with her, she won't live to see Christmas. That was the thought running through Kemi's mind as she tilted the small bottle in her hand and let a few drops fall into the plate of egusi soup. The kitchen was silent, too silent. But what Kemi didn't know was that someone was watching her and everything she was doing was being recorded. Amaka and Kemi had been friends since childhood. They grew up in the same village, drank from the same stream, shared secrets under the same mango tree. Everyone used to call them twin sisters, even though they weren't related by blood. But life has a way of separating people. Amaka moved to Lagos after she got married to Tunde, a rich, calm, and kind-hearted man who treated her like gold. Kemi, on the other hand, stayed back in the village, struggling to make ends meet. For years, they kept in touch, until one day, Amaka called her. Kemi, come and stay with me in Lagos, she said happily. Tunde is traveling to Canada for work, and I don't want to stay alone. You can also look for something doing here. Kemi didn't think twice. She packed her bags and went to Lagos. The moment Kemi stepped into Amaka's house in Lekki, something inside her shifted. The house was so big, so beautiful, and very peaceful. It wasn't the house that shook her. It was the marriage. Tunde wasn't like other men. He cooked, he cleaned, he prayed with Amaka, he listened. Although he was very wealthy, but he was just too humble. And every night before bed, he would look at Amaka and say, "You are my peace." Kemi heard that every single night. And slowly, what started as admiration turned into something darker. Envy. One evening, after Tunde left for Canada, Kemi sat alone in her room, staring at the ceiling. "Why is it always Amaka?" she whispered. "She has everything and I have nothing. Why is it always her?" That night, a dangerous thought entered into her mind. What if Amaka was no longer there? If Amaka is no more, Tunde will be so heartbroken. And because it's just me and them in this house, I'll be the only one to console him. I think I can use that to get into him. A week later, Kemi found herself in a quiet, hidden part of Lagos, in front of a native doctor. "I want something that will not be traced," she said. Her voice was shaking slightly. The old man looked at her for a long time. Then he brought out a small bottle filled with dark liquid. "Put this in her food, little by little," he said. "For 4 months. Kemi reached for it, but the man grabbed her wrists and said, "If she finds out," he said slowly, "something will follow you." Kemi hesitated. Then she pulled her hand away. "I don't care," she said. That night, the poisoning started slowly. Just a drop, then 2, then 3. At first, nothing happened. But after a few weeks, Amaka began to feel strange. She began to feel dizzy, weak, and confused. One day she said to Kemi, "I don't feel okay." Kemi forced a smile. "Maybe you are pregnant," she said quickly. Amaka frowned. "No, I am not." "Are you sure?" "Maybe Tunde left you with a baby before he traveled," Kemi insisted. She kept discouraging Amaka from going to the hospital, and Amaka trusted her. One afternoon, Amaka was in the kitchen on a video call with Tunde as usual. They were laughing, talking, missing each other. Then Amaka stepped out for a moment to get something. She forgot her phone on the counter. The call was still connected, and Tunde was still watching. That was when Kemi entered the kitchen. She looked around carefully. Then she brought out the bottle and poured into the food. Tunde froze. His heart started pounding. "What is she doing?" he whispered. He quickly ended the call, then called Amaka back immediately. "Amaka," he said, his voice serious, "don't eat anything in that house." At first, Amaka didn't believe, but Tunde insisted. So they made a plan to have secret cameras everywhere in the house. That same week, secret cameras were installed in the kitchen, in the dining area, even in the living room. And from that day on, Amaka pretended to eat, but she never swallowed a single bite. For 1 whole month, Kemi continued, every day, every meal, pouring dirt into her best friend's food. Sometimes she would even whisper, "Just die already. Die, and let me have your man to myself." And everything was captured on the camera. But here's the part that broke Amaka the most. She watched the footage every night in silence, tears rolling down her face, because the person trying to kill her was the same person she once called sister. One day, Amaka decided to test her. Kemi, she said softly, if anything happens to me, promise me you will take care of Tunde. Kemi paused. Then she smiled and said, I promise you, I will take good care of him. That was when Amaka knew she was bent on business. The next morning, the police came. Kemi was shocked. What are you people doing here? She said. The police held her and told her she was under arrest. I didn't do anything, she said. But then Tunde walked in. He was back from Canada. He had come quietly because he wanted to witness the whole arrest process. They brought out the screen. The videos played. Kemi pouring the poison again and again and again. Her face went pale. Her body started shaking. Then she collapsed on her knees crying. I was jealous, she screamed. She had everything and I wanted her life. Please forgive me. The police took her to the station, and after 2 nights, she suddenly started coughing violently. Foam began to form in her mouth. Everyone froze. Within seconds, she was on the floor in great pain, her body shaking as if she was going to die. And in that moment, Kemi remembered the native doctor's warning. If she finds out, something will follow you. Weeks later, Kemi became crippled, dumb, deaf, and blind. She couldn't talk, she couldn't see, she couldn't hear, she couldn't move, she couldn't do anything. Her life was just wasted. Weeks later, Amaka stood alone in the kitchen, cooking quietly and was very careful. She stared at the pots, then slowly she whispered, not every enemy is a stranger. Some of them even call you sister.